San Antonio Spurs look like a playoff team based on their preseason performance. Obviously, it's an extremely small sample size and flawed sample size because it's not a guarantee that your opponent is playing their best guys. However, if you're a fan of them, I understand the optimism heading into the first game. I don't think anyone realized how big of a signing Luke Kornet was at the time, but early on, he seems like a perfect fit. In 4 preseason games, he averaged 17 minutes, 12 points per game, while shooting 81% from the field, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists as well, while defending at a high level and protecting the rim. The Spurs won his preseason minutes by 44 points. Keep in mind, last season the defense fell off a cliff when Wemby was resting or out due to injury. Statistically, with Wemby on the floor, they were a top half of the league defense. Meanwhile, without him, they defended at a worst in the league pace. Adding Luke Kornet means for a full 48 minutes, you have elite rim protection on the court. You will even see Kornet and Wemby play next to each other for spurts. Realistically, knowing this, if the Spurs stay relatively healthy, they should be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And that's a great start, especially with the way the Western Conference is trending. The top 2 seeds last season, OKC and Houston, were all about defense. Speaking of health, that's another thing about Kornet. If Wemby misses a game, you're not just screwed right away. Kornet can step in and potentially give you starting level production any given night. The depth at the center position is in a way better place than last season. And you saw they proved if Wemby's on the floor, they have a chance. He played 1,527 minutes. They had a positive net rating while being a plus 102 in those minutes last season. I expect him to be even better this season. During the preseason, he just looked way more poised offensively. It seems like he has a better idea of where he wants to catch the rock. He's finding his spots better. Working with Hakeem was a great idea. You see the work paying off already. And based on that preseason style, I think he'll be more efficient as a scorer if he keeps it up. Honestly, there's a real chance he leaps into being an MVP level player. We all know it's going to happen at some point. It's just a matter of how soon. I expect the Spurs to consistently win his minutes, so the main question when talking about team success moving forward should be, what does the bench minutes look like? We already went over Kornet, but how about their second overall pick? He looks like a starter if we are being real. The reads Dylan Harper was making out of the pick and roll was crazy. I really trust him to run the team against other bench units. He takes care of the ball and controls the pace. Very rare qualities for a guy his age. And already he has great chemistry with Kornet. The screen setting of Luke Kornet, one of the best in the league in that aspect, by the way, will do wonders for a young guy like Dylan Harper. He just never seems sped up, which is very rare, and already he looks like he's ready to contribute on a winning basketball team. He controls the pace when he's out there. How about Julian Champagnie? He took 6 threes per game during the preseason, 58% from 3. Also, last season, he shot 37% from 3 on high volume. He's a proven sharpshooter. He's so lethal playing off the gravity of Wemby, but also in the preseason, you saw the natural chemistry he had with Luke Kornet. Those screens were helping him a ton. He works well with anyone, honestly, because of his willingness to fire from deep, but also he has such a quick release with size, so he doesn't need much airspace to get that shot off, and defenses will fear his 3-ball, which will result in spacing for their best players. And if they don't, he's a guy you can trust to consistently make the defense pay for disrespecting him. And with his archetype, he can compete defensively, meaning he really fits next to any player combination. He completes many lineups for this team. Getting the best version of him, like you saw in the preseason, can really take the team to another level. Then, a guy most people went off during the preseason, aka Keldon Johnson. He actually led the entire NBA for plus minus during the preseason. He was a plus 73 in 79 minutes. He thrived in his role, play finishing, hustling, grabbing rebounds, grabbing offensive rebounds. He did that at a high level. On top of that, he was hitting his three-pointers whenever he took them. Who knows if he can keep it up at this pace, but if he does, he's going to be a very valuable piece for them off that bench, bringing scoring and just hustle and physicality to the table. On top of that, there's so much talent on the roster that I haven't really mentioned. De'Aaron Fox, of course, we know what he can be if he plays up to his potential. The key for him is just take the time you need to get fully healthy, because the last couple seasons, it's been nagging injury after injury. I think that's been affecting his impact overall. Then you got Stephon Castle. Most likely they will get a better version of him compared to his rookie season. He played 2 preseason games, and in the finale, he was great. 16 points and 9 assists in 25 minutes. You watch the Thunder during their championship run, I see a lot of Cason Wallace in his game where he guards the best perimeter threat every night, picks up full court, picks up at half court. His defense really excites me, but he certainly has more offensive potential than a Cason Wallace. Then you got Jeremy Sohan, who had an underrated season last year. In my opinion, he really found a rhythm because he no longer had to play point guard. Now it's all about defense and hustle for him. Then on offense, just be a play finisher and a connector in terms of screening and passing and rebounding. He ended up shooting a career high 53.5% from the field last season. I would love to see him play the Draymond Green role for the San Antonio Spurs moving forward. Then, of course, they still got Devin Vassell, who has the potential to be the best scorer on the floor for the Spurs any given night if he's feeling it. I mean, some of their deep bench guys as well aren't too bad. Even a guy like Kelly Olynyk can be useful. Put him next to Wemby. You have a stretch four with size who can pass the rock and shoot. He's just a smart player overall. And also, he can play the small ball 5. So if you're in a game where you don't have Wemby, you can start Cornette, and then the backup 5 minutes will go to Kelly Olynyk next to Jeremy Sohan, and that should be enough size to get away with it. As I mentioned earlier, the center depth is just in a way better spot compared to previous years. They also still have Bismack Biyombo, who can give you nice backup minutes if needed. Lindy Waters I enjoy as well. He's like a Julian Champagnie. He's a flamethrower when he's feeling it. I mean, this roster is just filled with talent. The only question is, can Wemby stay healthy for a whole entire season? And does it fit all together? Because guys like Jeremy Sohan, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox all have shooting concerns. Can they all flourish together offensively is the question. Dylan Harper also fits into the shooting concerns as well. So just like every great team, there's probably going to have to be sacrifice, because I'm sure there's going to be different combinations that are working from game to game. The only player I didn't mention is Harrison Barnes, but again, another solid rotational piece. And I think last season they depended on him too much. And I think from an impact standpoint, they'll get more use from him in a lesser role. And with all the talent and depth they have, I think that's where he's going to be slotted. But yeah, I think the breakout team in the Western Conference will be the San Antonio Spurs. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts below.